Yeah, just awful left-wing sort of. You can't even call it propaganda because no one's falling for it. You know.
Is that what defines propaganda? If it's not
Uh,
successful, is it just art?
it's, at that point, yeah, it's just art. It's okay. Ready?
Yep.
Are you recording?
Yes, I am.
3, 2, 1. Cool.
I don't think your clap came through, but I guess you can sync up the video.
Well, it comes up with my
Your mic?
audio. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. 'Cause my audio on Discord is a lot quieter,
Okay. Cool.
but it's clearer on Streamlabs. Hi, welcome back. We did it. We're here.
Yeah. It only took me getting better after 3 weeks, you know?
I know. I'm always sad when you're not feeling well. I don't know why.
Well,
Part of my personality.
don't do that. I'm always sick, so I feel like you'll always be fucking sad.
Yeah. Whew, we're back, folks. It's been a few weeks. We probably thought our podcast got canceled.
Oh, yeah.
Like that other fucking We Quit Our Jobs podcast.
Yeah, we're totally better than those fucking guys.
we are better. We're better. We're better.
Calling all
We've made
sponsors.
it episode 7. Actually, technically 8 because we have an episode 0. But we have it. We're here. We missed the Halloween episode.
Yeah, it was just too scary, honestly, you know. we couldn't post that.
Yeah. Too scary. I had to delete it. We recorded both weeks, by the way. Recorded both weeks. Lamar was looked like a monster.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, to a lot of Midwestern people, I probably do look like a monster. It's a black joke. Actually, that's some shit. I'm going to Montana for Thanksgiving, so if I become a Christmas ornament, check the trees in Montana.
Why the fuck are you going in there?
Emma's family.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's family in Montana. I know she could get whiter.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
By the way, I am drinking on this episode.
Really? Whoa.
I'm having a beer.
That's crazy. How dare you?
October is over.
So is being sober.
Thank God. Thank God my friends didn't want to do November, because that would have been a hell of a month.
Doesn't your sister watch this podcast?
Yeah.
Let's maybe not talk about November then.
No, we'll talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about.
Okay.
You know? Oh, I missed you.
Yeah, I missed you too, honestly.
We have a new fan, my friend James. Shout out to James. He's watching the podcast.
The show is so sad we can call on our individual viewers.
Listen, we're building up a repertoire. That's the point of the first 100 episodes until someone starts watching for real.
Shout out to my friend Adion from Smash who watched one of these. Shout out to you. Shout out
You
to
watched
Shu.
one of them. Hey.
Yeah.
Shoe on head.
Not Shoe on Head, no.
Oh.
But whenever I look for Shoe on Twitter, Shoe on Head comes up first.
Oh, man. I kind of... Shoe on head annoys me.
Yeah? Why is
I
that?
don't know why. I don't know. She's like a simp, but the female version.
For who? Bernie Sanders?
Yeah. It used to be like fucking Donald Trump.
She was never a Trump fan.
She was dating the crazy fashy guy. What's
Armored
his name?
Skeptic?
Yeah.
He's... I don't know how to think about that guy. Because I don't think he believes all the conspiracy stuff he's posting, right? There's no fucking way.
Is he posting stuff now? I don't know.
Yeah, like honestly, his channel turned into just conspiracy theory stuff.
I felt like before, like I haven't watched his shit in probably like 3 or 4 years.
Well, that's
But
about
he was like farther right than Sargon of Akkad, who ended up being a
Really?
No? Some of his takes were crazy back in the day. I don't know how they are now, but
I feel like Armored Skeptic was kind of in the wheelhouse of the shoe on head Chris Ray Gun types, who were like, he was definitely an anti SJW type, but he wasn't conservative or whatever. I thought he was more of a liberal. I could be totally wrong. I wasn't a huge fan of him as well.
I was, well, not huge, but I watched his videos back in the day.
And he was more right leaning?
That was the most interesting political. We should talk about that at some point. Like, that political sphere was the only thing that you could consume back in the day. Was like semi right wing dumb fucks, basically.
Yeah, it's actually something I've written about. Like, the anti-SJW movement was like really strange, very strange. Like,
and a lot of people came out of that.
Yeah, like Sargon, Chris Ray Gun, Shoe on Head, obviously. Destiny was honestly part of that kind of, but Destiny's kind of just been like through everything in the internet. You know?
Yeah. Speaking of Destiny, he's going through it right now. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Have you heard any of this stuff?
Yeah, it's what's kind of brought me back to Destiny, because I'm like, oh damn, some drama. Let's go.
No, it's pulled me away from Destiny. I'm so tired. I can't do it anymore, dude. I can't. This stuff is like too much. This is like it's starting to feel like fucking Maury or Jerry Springer.
Oh yeah.
We're getting to that point. We're getting to that point.
It sounds exhausting to be part of those communities.
I know.
In any capacity.
I really wanted to start like a Twitch channel where I was parroting the whole thing. And now it's sort of like when I wanted to do anti-women stuff, and then Andrew Tate popped up. It's like it's too far now. It's way too fucking far. I can't even be a part of it as a joke.
Actually, that's a fucking great idea. If you think about it, like, that is the next evolution of that, like, sphere of, like, political commentary. Is like a parody of that, right?
A parody and then a multiverse. Yeah.
Wait, actually, that is like the new thing. The new thing is fucking multiverses. What the fuck is this
Yeah,
shit?
I know. I feel like we should explain to people like who Destiny is, who Destiny was, how did this happen? This whole, not even Destiny, just the political sphere. So I guess I'll go into my own personal views. As I used to watch a YouTuber named Sargon of Akkad
Oof.
back in pre high school. So this was 2011, 2012. Uh, what the fuck was I doing back then? I just wanted to get into politics. So I would watch Sargon of Akkad and I would also watch The Young Turks,
Wow. Wow.
which are completely on opposite sides of the spectrum at this point, left wing and right wing. Um, the Young Turks ended up being like weird socialist, kind of boomer politics.
They are like weirdly like boomer, but like also socialist. Like yeah, like it's kind of a weird dynamic of socialism. They like if Bernie Sanders had like a fan base that like tried to be him, it'd be the Young Turks.
Yeah, they like tried to do a news show, and they fail. Well, they're continuously failing for a full decade plus
Damn.
of doing a news show. Where they're begging for money constantly.
Calling all sponsors.
Speaking of, our sponsor for this week is...
I thought you had something like right off the
No,
dome.
I don't have anything to pull up this time. But, Raid Shadow Legends. So they ended up being like left wing, but also kind of a meme. The Young Turks. What do you think of that whole thing? What do you think of the Young Turks?
I'll be
days?
totally honest with you. I do not know the Young Turks beyond who they produce. So I know Hassan. I know Dave Rubin. I don't know the Young Turks beyond. I know Jank Uger is a person, but beyond that, I don't know anything about the Young Turks.
They are kind of like David Pakman,
Okay.
which David Pakman is someone I can still watch and feel responsibly political towards. But they're like the entertainment version
Of
of
David
David
Pakman.
Pakman. Like they're kind of fucking stupid at the end of the day. It's not even. It doesn't even compare to like CNN or NBC. They're just kind of meme politics. It feels like at that point.
Okay.
And they do pull elections, but Cenk Uygur at this point is known for who's the leader of the Young Turks. He's known for having horrible predictions when it comes to politics, like predicting someone, and then that's who not to bet on.
Wait, you're telling me
the
the
election.
socialist is bad at predicting stuff? Who'd have fucking thought?
Yeah, they're. I can't even watch them. They pull good views. You know, they post
Still?
like 5 videos a day and they get like 20K, which is fantastic.
How have I not
honestly.
run into them? Like, I feel like I
They're so
even watch Sam
boring.
Cedar. I watch Sam Cedar more than the you fucking Young Turks.
You probably should have run. I mean, I was listening to Young Turks back in the day, and then I never watched them again. Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's drink during the episode.
This
I'm
is
just fucking with
probably
you. It's funny.
probably
It's
a
funny.
horrible idea, but
I like it. I like it.
we're trying it. Yeah, just awful left wing sort of. You can't even call it propaganda because no one's falling for it. You know.
Is that what defines propaganda? If it's not
Uh,
successful, is it just art?
it's, at that point, yeah, it's just art. It's Cenk Uygur. I'll watch this guy. Shout out to Dame Pesos. He he's like a right winger, but all he does is make fun of the Young Turks, and it's some of the the funniest content. Because he doesn't even have to like spout right wing talking points. All he has to do is like say what the Young Turks are doing at the moment, and it's like so fucking funny.
I gotta watch that guy. I gotta watch that guy.
But yeah, I mean, he's not very good as far as going into his opinions on things.
Fucking
I don't
headache
really.
now.
I probably don't agree with it, but
Oh.
making fun of the Young Turks is. But then on the other side, we have a lolcow, a meme,
Sargon.
the god of the god of Gamergate.
That is giving him way too much credit. That's giving him way too much credit.
The weird British incel, Sargon of Akkad, who honestly, his content is was so much better than anything the Young Turks could have produced. It was so much more entertaining, and I don't mean this as far as like opinions, but like I just could enjoy it more. I was watching like that weird Egyptian fucking avatar that he had.
Is it Egyptian? I thought it was like a Roman or like Greek thing.
It's probably.
I mean,
It's all based in like racism at the end of the day, but
damn.
what a fucking loser.
What a fucking loser, yep.
Yeah, I hate Sargon.
Is he still relevant?
He changed his format and became relevant again.
Really?
So how Sargon became so Sargon was like an anti SJW sort of a well, he was like one of the leaders of Gamergate. He was like the four horsemen of Gamergate, which is what a great time in life Gamergate was. What a fucking great time to be on the internet back then.
True. The content was just booming. Who are the four horsemen of Gamergate if you had to say?
Um
Cuz I actually don't know.
Probably
Sargon,
Medicare.
Medicare. I never watched Medicare.
Mr. Medicare? Never
Nah,
heard of him?
No.
He is fully like Kiwi Farms alt-right
Oh.
scary dude at this point.
Okay.
But he's still more entertaining than Sargon of Akkad. I can't talk shit about Sargon because I'm worried this podcast will get like fucked up. I don't want to talk about it.
You just called him a fucking loser.
Well, he will somehow. I've never looked at child porn. He will somehow find a way to call me a pedophile.
Okay.
I don't know. He's crazy, dude. But he's on another level compared to Zargon.
Okay.
So Mr. Medicare, Sargon, Chris Raygun, maybe,
That's the one I think about the most, but
and Armored Skeptic are like the four horsemen of the apocalypse of Gamergate.
okay. Honestly, wasn't Shu more popular than Armored Skeptic?
He was really No, he was definitely more popular than her back in the day.
Back in the
This
day.
is like 2012, 2011.
Because she's definitely more popular than him now. Like,
Yeah.
fucking stole his audience and left. That's bad.
Well, yeah. But yeah, what a horrible internet presence that was when we had nothing left wing at all.
Well, if you look at it, and again, I guess I don't know Armored Skeptic as well as I thought. I guess I thought he was more left leaning, but then I have watched his most recent videos, and they're fucking insane. Like I thought he was just doing conspiracy videos to like kind of look into conspiracy theories in kind of like a more theoretical way, but that's like all he does now, and I'm starting to think he believes them.
Oh no.
Like it, you should watch some of his recent shit. It's quite literally insane. Um, but yeah, I thought he was more liberal, and then Chris Reagan turned out to be like a totally fine guy. In my opinion, I still really like
I
Chris
know.
Reagan.
He somehow became normal. He was the normal one out of everyone.
Well, I think
Sargon became the lolcow. Mr. Medicare became the scary. We don't talk about him. Uh, I'm actually just talking about his name makes me nervous, honestly. Oh man.
but yeah, I
But
feel like she turned out to be pretty politically left leaning.
yeah, but back in the day she was like not to be sexist, but she was like a side piece to Armored Skeptic
Jesus
for a
Christ.
long time.
Jesus
For a long
Christ.
time.
But again,
But
I thought they both were
everyone
more
else
liberal.
thought of it. No, Armored Skeptic is definitely more right wing than Chris Raygun. Maybe Sargon. Sargon is dumber, and so we'll say like dumber shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Armored Skeptic is smarter, but also makes him sweat more, a little more.
Makes you sweat more.
Yeah.
What?
For the alt right, yeah,
Okay.
he definitely had some crazy takes back in the day.
Yeah. That was an era. That was an interesting era.
But I'm a historian of the internet.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call myself the internet historian, but I remember this drama very well. This shit was like crazy. So Sargon ended up. The reason he became such a meme was because he debated. What's his name? The white nationalist, Richard Spencer.
Wait,
Remember
really?
Richard Spencer?
Yeah, of course I know Richard Spencer, yeah.
And he ended up calling Richard Spencer a white N-word. Which is like hard R, by the way.
Good for him. Good for him.
He's like, you're acting like a white N-word.
Jesus.
And from there, and I think Richard Spencer was like, Sargon, you're not as smart as you think you are. And that line alone just destroyed Sargon of Akkad for the rest of his life.
That's the turning point.
Yeah. I do remember. That was like 2016, 2017.
Do you think that's what made him get more right leaning? Because he's like, I'm not as smart as he thinks I'm not as smart as I think I am. Like, and then he's like, he's trying to impress Richard Spencer.
No. I think it's probably even sadder than that. I think it was when he divorced his wife that he became, and when he went full incel that he
Jesus.
that he became farther right. Yeah, he's like a huge loser.
That's
I
fucked
wish I
up.
could bully Sargon of Akkad off the internet.
What is this fucking episode so far?
uh, well, I figured we would talk about all this because Destiny's gonna come back up at some point. Um,
He's the political constant on the internet. He's been there since day one, honestly.
yeah, kind of crazy. All of his debates with Sargon of Akkad also made me like, oh, Sargon's just a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
He's a fool. And that's not to be the guy that was like, Destiny saved me from the right, but he kind of saved me from the centrist. You know what I mean?
Okay, Sargon the centrist. Let's
Right.
Sargon is centrist. Sure, yeah.
Right.
Self-identified centrist.
Well, he might not have been, but I definitely was, like, as far as social stuff, because no one was interesting on the left back then.
See,
No one at all.
do you think that's what like kept you there? Like, because the content you were
Yes.
consuming wasn't.
There was no good
Left-leaning?
content on the left. Yeah.
Do
Most
you think
definitely.
that changed your opinions?
No, because I was always like progressive liberal.
Yeah, but I remember, quite frankly, like me and you were both like liberal, but like I feel like we didn't really understand the trans issue that well. If
Well, yeah.
I feel like I've had a
I was
lot
never
of growth on
anti.
that. Oh, yeah,
I've never even had growth on the trans issue. I've just been like avoided those Sargon videos back in the day.
but
I don't even know if Sargon cared about trans people.
I
back
remember us discussing it. Like I thought we were like I obviously acknowledged and supported trans people existing, but I feel like when it got into the questions of like gender is just a spectrum and all this stuff, that I honestly do agree with a lot more now, but I feel like the messaging was really bad for people like me who kind of had more of a
then. Neutral.
not neutral, just I have a very logical worldview. Like I like everything to fit into a logical like spectrum.
Well, you had no one back then, because there was no trans people on the internet that were content creators.
Yeah, well, quite honestly, yeah, there weren't really any that I can think of. Like, I feel like one of the most significant ones early on was Blair White, which was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Which
um,
Well,
yeah.
Blair White might have helped me as far as like, oh, trans people are people.
Whoa! Watch it!
You know what?
No, but they're people that she gave you a window into, like.
Well, they're people with opinions. Like that was the first opinion I ever heard from a trans person was Blair White, probably.
Which is fucked up. First off,
It is fucked up, especially these days.
But no, like I empathize with that because yeah, I think the first trans creator I took any interest in was Blair White, sadly, because she was kind of like in the anti SJW sphere. Like I
and
remember
she was the only one.
She was, and I remember she would like hang out with people like Shoe on Head, who I was a fan of, and I'm like, oh, so maybe there's some legitimacy to Blair White's takes. I'm very happy to say I do not believe that anymore at all. But it was kind of the most visible firsthand account from a trans person that was on the internet.
Right.
For I think a lot of us.
And now she's a loon too. She's on the
Now
Sargon
she's been a
locale.
loon. Blair White's fucked up, dude. I do not understand. She's the Candace Owens of her demographic. I won't even fucking mince words. She's a fucking Candace Owens, like, she's a tool for the right, and it sucks that she was like the most vocal voice for the trans community for a while on YouTube.
And
I think
then
it's very good
we
that that's not the
watched
case.
the JonTron versus Destiny debate. Because you showed me JonTron, and he was the best video game person on the internet at the time.
He created a genre.
He destroyed PewDiePie. He was better than everyone back in the day.
Yeah.
And then he had these like wild takes about race. Hopefully he doesn't. I don't think he holds anymore at this point. I think he realized he needs.
You should look into that issue.
Yeah.
You should look into that one.
But JonTron was. What was the conglomerate he had? It was
Normal Boots
JonTron,
or
PBG.
Yeah, Normal Boots.
Yeah, Normal Boots. One of the greatest video game things ever.
Yeah.
Peanut Butter Gamer. This is like what we consume to get into the political sphere.
Not to get into it, but it was something else we were consuming at the time.
Right.
Yeah, I remember JonTron, like early I remember JonTron before 1 million subs, like the original, like the Star Wars Connect video. That one is so fucking funny. Me and my friend in high school would quote that fucking video all the time. Vanilla fucking Druce, oh my gosh. But yeah.
And then he debated Destiny. And he said all these crazy fucking things about the white race. And how we were, I guess I have to go back and watch that video, honestly. Because I don't remember all the stuff he said, but he sounded like a fool.
You want to know the biggest
Destiny.
one? That is so fucked up? The biggest problem was, he said that statistically, rich black people commit more crimes than rich white people.
Yep.
I actually think that's probably the opposite, first off.
It most definitely is.
It's probably most likely the opposite. I mean first off, rich people just commit a lot of crimes anyways,
but they commit less of the crimes that are end up being charged by the police.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But yeah, that's so fucked up. Like that doesn't make any sense. So he was quite literally spouting like the what's the theory that there's like white nationalist shit, like that white people are just superior to black people,
right?
And obviously that's just not true.
And that turned me off of JonTron for a while. And it also turned me off of Destiny for a while, because Destiny was one of the libtards. He was just one of those fools on the internet. But it also helped me understand that there were multiple perspectives on everything. And that probably broke my brain at the end of the day. And was
How
part of why.
Figure?
What the fuck is going on?
Your computer okay?
But it basically, that was the turning point in my life of like, maybe I shouldn't be listening to these fools. Because Sargon ended up defending John Tron. And then I ended up watching the Sargon Destiny debate right after that. And then after that, the Nick Fuentes Destiny debate. Who Nick Fuentes is a whole nother story. I was never a fan of Nick Fuentes. But that was around the same time. He's a Hispanic white nationalist.
You'd be surprised how many of those there are.
Well, these days, yeah.
That's
But
becoming a
that didn't
subgenre.
that didn't even make sense to me. It was a white Hispanic white nationalist. But slowly over time, the left wing finally came into this internet sphere of actually being able to represent themselves in a way that wasn't screeching and, you know,
We started getting
all those
content
memes.
creators. We started getting people like
Right.
ContraPoints. We started getting people moving
Right.
over more to the left, like Chris Reagan. We started getting people like, Destiny, yeah, of course. BreadTube became a thing that it is now. Like, quite honestly, I'd say liberal content right now is on the big up, and conservative content is like really kind of trash right now.
Right, and that
Yeah.
it's crazy how that actually affected actual politics at the end of the day. Because in 2016, everyone was a right winger on the internet, and Donald Trump won. And now we're in 2022, and the majority of good content creation is left wing, and we're now crushing the Senate, and we're a slim margin away from winning the House.
We probably won't win the House, sadly, but
No, but we're not going to give them the majority this time. You know?
they're gonna have the majority, but they're not gonna.
Well, they're not going to have. They
a
need
big
218 to win. They need 218 representatives to pass anything, and they're going to end up with 212 or something crazy.
No. The 218 will be enough to get a 50%, but I mean, there's gonna be infighting. So like, they're probably gonna end up with like a 2-seat majority, and like it's gonna be impossible to govern. It's gonna be horrible.
Right.
Which is great. Like, Democrats fucking killed it in the midterm. Like, that's a whole
Somehow.
other thing. Exactly, somehow. But honestly,
Right.
somehow it's because Trump fucked the Republican Party forever.
Right.
So yeah.
Thank God.
Thank God, right? Yeah.
But he saved the Republican Party back in the day. Back then, we thought the Republican Party was on a new wave of winning. You know?
Yes. But then people lived in 4 years of Donald Trump. And, I'm 20.
And things got really bad.
I'm
Yeah.
26 right now. I'd say 3 of the 4 like worst years of like I've lived through were Donald Trump years.
Yeah.
You gotta. I mean, 2016,
Yeah.
2020, and
2020.
2017.
Right.
So yeah, like
2018 was also an average year at best.
I mean, yeah. Here are the top 5 years.
Oh my God.
So yeah, Donald Trump fucked up the world, and I think
And
a
he
lot of
ruined
people
the
recognize
economy too. And he did a lot of things that like basic conservatives would be like, no, please don't do that shit.
Yeah.
And he did it anyway, not knowing the repercussions overall.
it. Because he was
Like-
he was incompetent.
Well, tariffs are one of the worst things that Democrats ever did economically.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump went fucking haywire with tariffs. The entire 4 years, he was tariffing the shit out of China, and that ruined
A lot.
U.S. economics.
Yeah, and then they made
Um,
COVID-19 as a response. I'm just fucking.
yeah.
I'm just fucking around. That's horrible. Um, but yeah, so yeah, the Donald Trump was, and honestly, I think he affected that content um sphere because you saw the anti-SJWs who were like, okay, wait, like who weren't like really like right leaning and who were like truly like liberal left leaning people who were just critiquing the left, like Chris Reagan, like he stopped. He was like, fuck, like
Right.
we kind of fucked some shit up. Like obviously, I don't think there's a direct correlation with what the anti-SJW movement did and Donald Trump. But there is a bit of a correlation because if you look at it right now, the conservative platform is the anti-SJW platform from
Right.
2016.
Right.
It's
For the
fucking
most part.
insane. They're fighting this culture war. That wasn't a thing in 2016 in the mainstream Republican Party. But now it's like a common talking point.
But then 2017 was crazy. That's where Gavin McInnes came from, who is probably a terrorist. Like he seems like he's part of the Proud Boys and part of an actual terrorist group.
Yeah.
Gavin McInnes. Then you have Richard Spencer, who basically said like white privilege is real, and also
A good
thank
thing.
God for white privilege. Thank God. I'm gonna stand with it for the rest of my life. And then Nick Fuentes, who still is like an extremely powerful political figure. And he's 6 months younger than me,
Wow.
which is psychotic to think about. That he's somehow, or he's 6 months younger or older than me, but he's like right there with my age. I think he's 22 right now, or 23 right now,
How
and
does
he
that make you
is.
feel?
I feel like I should be starting a fucking fascist fucking party. Why didn't I do that, motherfucker? I could have been a millionaire right now. I could have been fucking raking it in with fools on the internet.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about that. Like 2017 brought in this like crazy racist anti-abortion group that then sort of took over for 3 years and then got fizzled out really quickly as soon as elections came around in 2020.
Yeah. Well, it was a crazy like time, just in general. And
Right.
I think there was a lot of self-reflection from people, and I think a lot of people were either like people were pushed to extremes too.
Mm.
Like I mean, if you think about it, like Chris Reagan was an anti-SJW, but then now he's like a socialist. So is Shuan
Right.
Head,
Right.
and Sargon's a fucking fascist. So
Right.
like people were pushed to the political extremes just because of like the rhetoric Donald Trump was saying.
But at the end of the day, all of those people ended up. I feel like they're irrelevant compared to, there's Twitch politics with Hassan, who's getting 15,000 viewers a day, and
I
he's a
think
left. He's a strong left winger. And then there's,
Hassan's a
you know,
weird case though, because he's like he obviously comes from politics, but he's not very political aside from just stating his beliefs. I feel like a big distinction between him and the other political like people we're talking about is that they talked about the issues and kind of like talk to people about the issues. And
Mm.
Hassan is just like, this is what I believe, and he doesn't really talk to people. Like, he doesn't debate anybody, which is fine, but like, I feel like he's very different from the other ones.
He's pop politics for sure.
Yeah, I'd agree.
In about 5 years, he's gonna turn into the Young Turks, which is just cringe.
But he came from the Young Turks, right?
Right, he came from the Young Turks, and now he's gonna turn into the Young Turks. I have a feeling he's just gonna be a meme and a joke at the end of the day.
I kind of already think of him as one.
I mean, for us smart folks, he's getting there, but he's still raking in 10,000 views a day. So
Which is fine. Like again, I don't think he really talks about politics much, so it's like, whatever, do your thing.
Right. He was like, what was the one Hassan meme? He was like, "You're just a trans person."
I'm not familiar with that.
He was like berating a trans person in his chat, and he was like, embarrassing
You're just
stuff.
a trans person. What the fuck?
Yeah.
My camera's. Oh. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, internet politics is interesting, and we'll probably have to get into it more. I want to get more into Sargon of Akkad at some point, but I feel like I should go back and rewatch some of that shit.
Well, where do you like? So we got kind of like to the post-Trump era.
Yeah.
Like, let's just ride this out. I want this to be like the political episode. So like internet politics. So like what happened after that? Like for you?
What year?
I don't know, the 2017-18 era.
Um,
Into 2019, I guess.
I've watched so many people that haven't changed my opinion on things. Like I watched Gavin McInnes for a while. Not enjoying his opinion, but enjoying his the meme, I guess.
Just watching him for entertainment.
Right. And that was like 2018 was Destiny I started really getting into, and then Gavin McInnes I was watching as a because he was going crazy back then.
I feel like you introduced me to Destiny in 2018.
Yeah, about that time. And that's when I really found a stance as far like 2018 was the year that I found a stance as a person.
Okay.
Like I was like, okay, these are my opinions. Like I'm a gender abolitionist for the most part. I'm pro immigration because it makes sense.
Yeah.
Back then,
our economy would be so much better right now if we were doing better on immigration.
Right. And that wasn't even just as a at some point I lost some sort of a loving of people. Probably about 18.
What does that mean?
More about like, well, I was like 2018. It was like, oh, immigration is more of just a it's better for the economy rather than
okay. Instead of like a humanitarian thing.
Less so the humanitarian thing.
Okay.
These days it's more of a humanitarian thing. As far as like we should be helping everyone across the world.
Okay.
I'm more of a globalist than ever these days.
Good.
It was more of like, oh, immigration is literally just better for the economy. at the end of the
So
day.
you were being very like utilitarian about it.
Right.
Okay.
And that's around when like Dave Rubin was cool.
Yeah, like yeah. I was a huge fan of Dave Rubin actually. I was
Yeah,
totally.
me too. And then he became. He was such a good. He was like the best grifter of all time. In my opinion,
Yeah.
Dave Rubin 2018 2017 was the best grifter. Because he was so good at using his sexuality plus pretending that
He was liberal.
he was liberal plus pretending that like this whole thing doesn't matter, like being gay doesn't matter, being black doesn't matter,
Yeah.
sort of thing where it's crazy.
And he was anti-Trump until like 2020.
No, he was pro Trump before 2020.
No, dude. I'm a big Dave Rubin fan. He was like anti-Trump until 2020, like the election.
Really?
Yeah. He was like anti-Trump. He claimed to be like part of the anti-SJW like sphere of like, yeah, I'm critiquing the left, but I am like a liberal. I am like, cause he used to be Young Turks, you know, so he comes from that like space. But I think it's so clear that he got like money to be more. No. Like it's not even
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Have you heard?
No,
like,
it's not a conspiracy. Yeah. I
you've
know.
heard what Chris Reagan said
Yeah.
about this shit, right?
No. Wait, hold that thought. I'm gonna. I'll be right back.
Okay. Probably only Colin will hear this, so I should tell him something. You're pretty cool, Colin. I'm glad that we're friends. You're coming back now, so I'm gonna shut up.
I hope you didn't say anything interesting because I will probably edit that.
Yeah, you probably should.
Out.
Probably should.
Yeah, just 60 seconds. Okay. What did Chris Reagan say about Dave Rubin?
So it's not just Dave Rubin, it's people like Candace Owens as well. So like on Chris Reagan's podcast that he does with Some Black Guy and Tom Sweeney, Snark Tank, he's talked about how he was approached by right-wing organizations to speak on right-wing issues, and he was offered like tons of money.
I need to. You got to show me this because I didn't see any of this shit.
Yeah, I've actually
This
written
is
about
interesting to me because
Yeah.
I know. I mean, I know that happened with people. Just because it's obvious something happened.
And you know, Chris Reagan was a Latino man, you know, so he's obviously a target as well. So they come to these like more left, not left leaning, but more right inclined people, and they're like, hey, here's all this money to like rep these ideas. And like that's fucked up, right? So Chris Reagan is like, so if they tried to come to me with that, and Some Black Guy said they've done that to him too. So he's like, if they came to us with this stuff, like it's pretty obvious that Candace Owens is getting that type of money, Dave Rubin's getting that type of money.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's just like, yeah, it's totally fucked up. It's a complete like money sham.
Well, that's exactly what like Turning Points USA is.
Really? What's that?
All Turning Points USA, you don't know?
Mm-mm.
They're like a conservative. I don't know what they are technically, but they're definitely a young conservative group.
Okay.
Like they want young people to be conservative because they need to pump as much money in as they can to sell you on this. What's his name? Who's that fucking idiot? My mom knows who he is. That's how like fucking foolish he is. He's like a Steven Crowder type.
It's not Ben Shapiro.
No, he's in that group though. He's younger though. He's like a little older than me.
Younger conservative guy.
He was the guy that Nick Fuentes' fans went to protest every. Fuck. I should know who this. Fuck. If I look up Turning Points USA, you know exactly who. His name's like Chuck something.
Chuck. I don't think I've heard of this guy.
Charlie Kirk.
I've heard that name, but I don't really know him.
He's like our age, but he's also like a white conservative, like talking head. But he's like the main. They wanted him to be like the main leader of this group, basically. And Candace Owens was involved, and Lauren Southern. Just fucking dumb shit.
Those people.
Right, and conservatism is dead at the end of the day. It's like the least popular group. There's either fascists like Nick Fuentes and Lauren Southern and stuff, or there's left wingers like even Joe Biden is more popular than conservatism as a whole.
I mean, yeah, he is. He is. If anything, the midterm elections, I was following them very closely. It's showing that there is a very big left wing part of America that is anti Biden, but still voted for Democrats. So like Biden's approval rating is really bad, but it's because people on the left aren't approving of him because he's not left enough.
Right.
And they're still voting for Democrats, but they're disapproving of the job that Joe Biden did. So I think the world is, very, very much heading in the direction of more left leaning, hopefully. I feel like
left leaning, even if it's like fascism, it's left wing fascism in a way.
Well, actually, I quite literally have a friend who's what's it called? What do you call it? When they're like communist but like dictator oriented?
Anarchist?
Anarchist, yeah. Anarcho-communist, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's also kind of getting a little more.
Can we have that? Can we have that friend on?
Actually,
I would love to just hear what he has to say.
He's one of my best friends, dude. I think he would actually be really interesting to have on.
Yeah.
But yeah. We should also have my other friend on who debates with me and him. She's like a Destiny, like Biden fan.
I would have those folks on. James also wants to pop on the podcast, and he wants to talk about nothing political at all. So,
we'll do like an extra political episode, and then like a just dumb shit episode.
Yeah. James just wants us to talk about things that are funny. He likes Joe Rogan, but not for his politics.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, he likes Joe Rogan for the funny comedian. He likes Two Bears, One Cave type shit.
I respect people who just like the discussions, you know?
Like, they're like George Carlin fans where they don't even want to vote, you know?
I feel like George Carlin was pretty political.
Yeah, but he was like, don't vote.
Did he say that?
Yeah, multiple times.
I can't believe my dad
was actually
that guy.
he was a guy who was like, elections are rigged before
Trump said it.
Before that was crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Which in a way I agree with, especially with I mean, there's certain things where it's like, yeah, elections are kind of rigged.
Well, yeah, I mean, gerrymandering, you know?
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's fucked up. But yeah. What else were we talking about?
Conservatives have a lot of money, and they're putting it into fucking YouTubers because they think that's gonna work, which it kind of is working.
Name the conservative agenda.
Anti-abortion, but
Really?
no, I don't even think so. No,
Yeah, like they don't even all
I
believe in that.
I think they use that because it. Have you ever seen Jesus Camp?
No.
You should watch that documentary. It's one of the best made documentaries of all time. Me and Helen watch it this summer.
Okay.
Uh, it's basically like how the undertones of it are like George Bush, because that's when it was made, was like 2004 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Was like how George Bush used the Christian, that Christian belt to win his elections,
Mm-hmm.
basically. And they're they're fucking nuts. And one of their big things is anti-abortion stuff.
Yeah.
So I would say anti-abortion is a conservative talking point just because they need those people to win.
It's a talking point, but now that you saw that abortion, like Roe v. Wade got overturned, we're seeing that abortion is actually a detriment to Republicans. They needed them for the votes, but now that they actually did something on it, it's hurting them. So
Right.
I would say that abortion isn't what part of their agenda. But again, I want to ask you, what is
Well,
their agenda?
their agenda is I don't know.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got me there.
Yeah. No, because no, dude, they
Got me
don't
there.
have an agenda.
Yeah.
Their agenda is to be anti-left.
Jeff Bezos is their agenda. They want to make a lot of fucking money
Not even that.
for just them.
Not even that.
Not the economy. They want to make money for them.
But that's not even that, because they try to be the working class people's party now. Like they're trying to be like Donald Trump made a lot of inroads because he tried to be more union focused. And that's a contradiction. That's a fucking contradiction. The party has no identity right now. It has no clear identity, and that's why they don't do shit except like fuck up the planet. It's like fucked up. It's really
Oil
bad.
barons and yeah.
It's oil barons and Hicks.
Yeah.
It's the craziest coalition of just
Well, they're
stupid
tricking
people and rich
they're
people.
they're tricking poor southern people into agreeing with them,
Yeah,
which is really sad because I feel for those people.
I do too. It's fucked up. But they use identity politics and this culture war to convince poor people to vote for them, and then they just do shit that benefits rich people. And they don't do anything for poor people at all.
Right.
And they say tax cuts, but then that takes away government programs that help these poor people. And that's why you can't overturn shit like Obamacare. Like they tried to do that, and it's like, no, of course, the fucking voters that voted for you are all on Obamacare. So what are you talking about, you dumbasses? Fucking stupid fucking political party.
Yeah, they have a point they need to cross, and they're never going to cross it because so much money comes from the people that the right wing is dependent on oil barons and the people that own drugs.
Drug company, they work for big business, and they're supported by a coalition of religious, racist, scared people. Scared. Right. They're like, honestly, scared people are one of their biggest demographics. They're like, oh, crime. Like, what the fuck do you even mean by crime? They don't know what they mean by crime. because crime's been going down consistently until COVID. So, like, you can't even really run on crime. It's just exploiting the fears of people and the ignorance of people. And that's the Republican Party. And I'm sorry, that was a rant, but go on. Like, where'd we stop at? It was 2019.
We're trying to get to present day. I don't think we can, because I've been. I feel like I got black-pilled along the way. I think it was the Jeffrey Epstein stuff that really fucking got me. And that was 2020?
Was it? I think it was
I
2019,
think it was
right?
Well, 2019. So Jeffrey Epstein was a turning point for me because that made me realize
all these motherfuckers know each other and they're all...
Everyone!
Yeah.
The left wing, the right wing, everyone is fucking children.
Don't go Pizzagate on me now.
No, but like seriously, like when my dad won't admit in 2022 that Bill Clinton probably had sex with like very young women, like before 2018, like that disturbs me. And that's when I became who I am today, which is
and that's when I put on the mask. Anti-kid
when the
fucker.
Jeffrey Epstein stuff happened. I remember knowing like this is the end of the road for everyone. Fuck all of them. And that's where I am at today. Is sure, I'll vote for my progressive left-wing local people. But as soon as we get to like past local, nothing like they're all evil.
Yeah.
They're all bad people.
Well, I've been thinking about this a lot. You have to be a certain amount of like an ego maniac and a narcissist and a fucking just crazy person to want to be in that high position of power.
Right.
You have to be fucking crazy.
Right.
So I guess kid fucking comes in that territory, sadly.
But it's a far step away from. I feel like my political beginnings began in 2008 with a Barack Obama. You know, I was arguing with my friends back in 2012 when it was Obama versus Mitt Romney.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time I really felt like strongly about politics. Was like Obama is so much better than Mitt Romney. And now I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I
feel like everyone's just bad.
You know, I campaigned for that election.
Did you?
Yeah, with my dad. And yeah, now I look back at it and I'm like, I mean, you look at Mitt Romney and Obama, they're so similar. They're so similar. Like, what are you doing?
Like, the only thing Mitt Romney has is anti-abortion, which is still just because he's a religious coot.
Yeah.
You know?
Coot.
Who has like 12 women that he can all have children with. And doesn't understand the side effects of not having abortion.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the only thing. Other than that, like probably most of his presidency would be the same.
Yeah.
Like the Syria stuff would be the same. And it's just, now that I realize that, it just makes me so depressed and sad.
Yeah.
Like, really sad, honestly.
Like, it's kind of crazy how we thought Obama was so progressive, but he really wasn't at all.
Well, I mean, Obamacare was a great thing that he did.
Yeah, but think about how progressive it was if it's literally just catching up with the rest of the Western world. Like, that's all it did.
Right.
That's all it did. And it wasn't even that much.
Right.
But yeah, it was definitely a step in the right direction. 100%.
Yeah, I just feel like I don't know. You go.
Well, I want to keep going forward in
I'm
time.
getting mad.
So the Jeffrey Epstein stuff kind of like made you like black pilled. What
I'm not black pilled though, because I still like I feel for trans people more than ever at this point. I feel for abortion more than ever at this point. I feel for women, especially women. Like the Me Too movement really affected me in a way that I never thought it would.
Yeah.
Um, and looking back at it, it's like I know that was more of a social effect on things, but Harvey Weinstein is one of the worst fucking people ever made.
Yeah.
like,
No,
like,
yeah.
and that's liberal Hollywood for you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And what's his name? Who's that porn star?
Porn star.
Yeah, the fucking gross looking guy.
Ron Jeremy?
Ron Jeremy is one of the worst people ever made.
What I never heard about Ron Jeremy.
Oh, go look up Ron Jeremy right now.
I
Go,
what?
Google. No, I'm dead ass. I Google image Ron Jeremy. Two, like a half of the pictures are him at trial
Oh,
for his
really?
rape trials. Yeah, as an old man, like dying in his chair. Like fuck all these fucking people. Honestly, fuck them all.
Okay.
And that's liberal porn star. That's more liberal than Hollywood liberal porn star Ron Jeremy, right there. And it's just like, I don't know.
I never heard about that. Wow.
Yeah, he's on trial for life.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's getting carted around like worse than Harvey Weinstein.
Jesus. Wow.
And that's, you know. And now all what do we have? We have OnlyFans, which is one of the most disgusting companies ever made.
What's wrong with OnlyFans?
They get women. They're like Ghislaine Maxwell, but in
Okay.
company form. They get women to get other women to join the platform.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And a lot of these women are 18. And I don't know if you remember what being 18 was like, but I would have fucking sold my dick pics at 18. You know? I would have sold my body for money at 18.
That brings up an interesting idea. It's pretty clear that people are maturing later on in life, so should we like raise the legal age to do stuff like that? Because I think that's a good argument.
No, I don't know. I think 18 is the legal limit because 6-year-old men want to fuck 18-year-olds.
Okay.
18 wouldn't be the legal limit morally at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, like I feel like
It would
like
be
even
30. Because that's when you like really realize what you're
maybe
doing.
25.
20, yeah, 25.
But
But
like yeah,
I'm not even there yet, so I would be getting, you know.
well, I think like between those ages, it's like you're not telling high school kids to not like sleep with each other, but like
Right.
I feel like there's like yeah, I'm like 26. I think it'd be really fucking weird if I like slept with an 18-year-old. Like that'd be weird.
But you know, Europe, you have 16
Yeah.
legal age to drink and have sex at 16, which is normal in those countries, but in this country, well, I guess it's this country and now around the world because of how crazy America is with their imperialism. Is that it's just that's when you can get taken advantage of is 18.
Yeah. I feel like it has to be a higher age for that.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. It's really hard to say. But yeah, I do think there's a problem with that. But yeah, like if everybody was just like a good person and like conducted themselves benevolently, we wouldn't have this problem. But obviously, we don't live in a world where that's the case. So people are getting
Right.
taken advantage of. Uh, so
And
yeah.
now we're here, 2022.
One capital stormed later. Here we are.
Oh yeah, maybe we should talk about the Capitol before we.
Well, I think
Move all the way
2020
to-
is just like 2020 was fucking insane. Like 2020 was like 2020 and 2021 were like some of the craziest fucking years. Like I mean, they're hands down the craziest years I've ever experienced. Like think about the amount of shit that happened. Like we had environmental stuff go crazy those years. Like we're seeing the results of global warming like right before our eyes, and we still have fucking idiots who are just like, yeah, of course it's gonna snow a little bit, you know, it's gonna get a little hot. Oh yeah, fucking Texas got flooded or whatever. Like whatever. No, it's fucking insane. We're seeing the environment go insane right now. And then like on top of that, we had COVID-19, also kind of a climate change thing if you think about it, because we're going to see a lot more of these diseases because the conditions for them to surface are getting better. So, because it's getting warmer. So, we're going to see more of that sort of shit. And the pandemic in general, just like, I swear there's not a single person on the planet aside from like maybe some remote tribes that weren't affected by COVID-19. COVID-19
Right.
was insane. Like that's one of the most influential things that has happened on our planet ever. Ever. Like I think World War II was the only like comparable one. Like COVID-19 was crazy.
Yeah.
And then yeah, you had the 2020 election, you had the George Floyd protests. Like exhausting, crazy stuff.
And this George Floyd protests were honestly the most normal we've ever been. You know? Like, that's like, okay, finally, black people can maybe have the same rights as white people.
Maybe.
Finally, maybe if you murder a black person in the street, maybe now you can.
Maybe now you might face some consequences. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that was fucking crazy though, because that was a turning point. That was a big turning point.
Right. Which is kind of sad at the end of the day.
It
Because
is.
that's something that's been on the back burner for so long. After the 1965, what's the thing that Civil Rights Act?
Yeah.
Once that passed, it felt like that was put on the back burner for a long time.
Yeah, well, I think there's been a lot of moments where people are like, racism is solved. Like, you know? Like, we did it.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, no, that's exactly how people felt.
yeah. Well,
It was like,
quite
oh,
honestly,
black people have all the rights that we have now.
I felt like that
So-
when I was younger, and I'm a black
Yeah.
kid. Like,
Back to Sargon of Akkad, that's like what he was telling me back in the day.
yeah.
It's like, finally, black people have the rights we have. But it's like, we're still living with those. We're still living with that shit.
Yeah, 100%. And again, I'm a black kid, and I had a black dad who grew up in New York City in like the 60s and 70s. Like, I should know, like, what this shit was, but I wasn't convinced. I was like, okay, racism is pretty much done. Like, obviously it exists, but like, nobody's like really dealing with it like they used to. But no, people are. Like, actually, in 2020, there were, like, actually a surprising amount of lynchings. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane. Why are we living in this world? And I can't
Well,
believe I was convinced of that.
Back then, it was like there's personal racism.
Yeah. Like, somebody's
2016,
racist.
it was like there's personal racism, but there's no systemic racism anymore. But then that became so fucking clear with the George Floyd stuff. It's like someone can just kneel on someone's neck for half an hour and just fucking in the middle of the street, and it's like that's fine because it's a cop.
Insane, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Really
sad. Yeah.
People are still bringing him up, by the way, and I think you should all shut the fuck up.
What do you
to
mean?
be honest with you, anyone that brings up George Floyd's name with any negative connotation,
yeah,
needs to
like,
shut the fuck up.
They're like, he was no angel. Like that is the most dog whistle fucking racist shit I've ever, like, straight up. Like, yeah, he went to prison and he did drugs. Yeah, does he deserve to die? and remember the Christian right.
Yeah.
The Christian right?
Right. Well, no, it's not even. It's Candace Owens. I saw a Candace Owens thing recently.
Well, hey, she's
where
part of
it
the
was like,
Christian right too. Let's not
George
get it
Floyd wasn't a saint.
Yeah.
That was a Candace Owens thing, and it's like
it's like you deserve this shit.
He was a human fucking being. It just makes me want to cry, honestly, at the end of the day.
It's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I want to cry right now.
Don't cry.
I'm not gonna cry. Not on the podcast. Not on the best fucking podcast in the world. Where we cover this shit. Where we covered the last decade. No. But Candace Owens makes me want to lynch a white person.
The amount of just like, that was like, you just said
let's turn it around. It's time to turn it around, motherfucker. Lynch me. I don't give a fuck. I'm Irish. I came here 3 generations ago. Let's go.
Okay.
I'll take it.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
No, I'd rather not.
I actually just made a joke today to one of my friends because he was talking about Southern food, and I was like, he's just like he's the anarcho-communist actually, and I was like, yo, let's go to the South and, like, if we get in a scramble, pretend to lynch me and then we'll get away. We gotta get him on.
Oh, let's get him on. That's
right.
an interesting. I need to prepare for that conversation, to be honest.
I can bring on my friend Kate too. I'll get both of them, and then we'll have like a whole, like, I'm a democratic socialist. Like, I feel like I don't know what you would identify as.
Black-pilled motherfucker.
So black-pilled motherfucker, and then we would have like a
few beers in, motherfucker. That's what you'd call me.
And then we would have my friend who's the neolib, and then like a fucking dictator, fascist, whatever.
I think those would have to be separate conversations.
No, I'm telling you, we all go out to eat after tournaments, like Smash tournaments, and then we talk about this shit. It's very fun. I think you would like it.
Interesting.
So wait, like, are we done? Are we at present day 2021? What happened in 2021? The capital.
Honestly, Joe Biden was our president, and it was the most boring time in American history. It was boring.
2021 was insane.
What happened that year?
The Capitol. Fucking.
No, that was 2020.
Technically, it was 2021.
I know, but it was 2020.
It did feel like a continuation.
Yeah, that was the climax of the year.
COVID was actually still a really big deal in 2021. Um,
Who cares about that fucking disease at this point?
yeah, finally at the end of 2022, you could say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I feel like 2021 was still fucking crazy. I'm failing to remember what happened, but I remember it was like pretty comparable to 2020, like just 2020. But yeah,
I'm still thinking about Sargon of Akkad, to be honest with you.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know why. I feel like maybe I should make a documentary about his life.
Do it.
We never went into the election that
Yeah.
Sargon of Akkad was a part of, where he was like, no, I won't even bring it up. But it was really fucking embarrassing.
What election?
He ran for election.
For something in England?
Yes. And I have to refresh myself on the whole thing because it was probably 2018, I think. But it was a full on episode, like 2+ hours of entertainment with that one.
I didn't know you were such a Sargon historian.
I'm an everyone historian as far as political internet goes.
You know Sargon pretty well.
I
don't know him that
I'm
well.
severely political as far as like this entire thing goes. I could go into the Sargon thing, but I feel like I should refresh myself before I go into the Sargon thing.
You should make that a project.
Yeah, maybe I'll bring it to the podcast one day.
No, I think you should just make a video essay.
I'll make a video essay and then I'll refresh you on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could use it to promote it. I think that'd be sick.
Yeah, that's like a. I won't even. No, let's move past it.
Okay.
Sargon ran for election with the with the right wing, the fascist semi-party, and lost badly.
Doesn't he still say he's a liberal?
I'm a liberal. I'm a liberal. Does that make you feel like he's a liberal? I'm a liberal.
Is that your impression?
I'm a liberal, mate.
That's all you have to do. Then he's from somewhere else, you know.
No, I hate the British so much.
What? What do they do?
The Queen.
She's done.
Yeah, thank God. Now there's a king.
Who cares about him? He's gonna be gone in like 10 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, and now we're in 2022, and the midterms just happened. And
What happened in the midterms? Can you refresh me?
Do you really want me to tell you?
Give me a.
The story isn't for the faint of heart.
I know about Georgia.
Yeah.
Georgia was really depressing because it was way fucking too close.
But that doesn't matter. We still got the Senate, and Warnock will probably win another runoff because he already did.
Yeah.
Which means the Democrats actually picked up a senator in the midterms, which is frankly unheard of. It's insane how well the Democrats did this midterm. And the House, it's very close. Republicans will probably have the majority, but it's going to be very slim. And considering what happened in every other midterm election for the party in power, the Democrats overperformed significantly. And there still is a chance they keep the House, but it's very slim. Very slim.
The House? I thought we kept the House.
No, we kept the Senate. The House will probably flip. but it'll be very close. So yeah, the midterm showed that Donald Trump is a problem for Republicans. They are going to have a discussion about Donald Trump. I will be very interested to see what happens in the midterms, or not the midterms, the primaries for the Republicans in 2024, because Trump is a losing issue for them right now. His candidates lost. He lost. He never won the popular vote for president. In 2016, he won because Democrats didn't show. So, like, he's unpopular. He motivates the Democrats against him. So, Republicans are probably going to move on to DeSantis, Florida governor. And
who's also a fucking weird.
He's
weird
horrible
dude.
too, but he's not Trump. He's not. He doesn't.
No, he is Trump. At the end of the day, he is fucking Trump.
He's Trump, except he's more dangerous in the sense that he's competent, but he's also not Trump in the sense that he doesn't inspire idiots. Trump was really good at engaging a wing of the party. Well, not even a wing of the party. He encouraged a lot of people who never voted before to vote because he spoke to people who were not that smart. And yeah, they never voted before, but they were like, I like what this Trump guy has to say. I do hate Mexicans. So yeah.
Don't make fun of Southerners. We have another episode, totally. We have so many episodes coming up. We have the Sargon episode. We have the Southerners episode. The Donald Trump episode we have to have. Because we barely talked about Trump.
Yeah. Well, he was the changing point on...
Well, I want to have a good Trump
politics.
episode where it's... Yeah. We should have a good Trump episode where it's actually talking about... What a guy he is. What a guy.
I feel like he's the most like overplayed thing right now. Like everybody knows Trump. He's like, it's like whatever. He's not.
We still have a Destiny episode coming up. Don't worry, people. We got it. It's coming.
Yeah.
I'll go through the entire history of Destiny.
We should have my friend Kate on for that.
Yeah, we should.
The Neolib. She's a big Destiny stan.
Yeah. And I am ex-Destiny stan. I'm not even ex. I'm just like, whatever. Destiny is too much for me these days. Too much.
Well, we've been talking for an hour and a half.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. And we went over all of internet politics, you know.
We have a lot more to go over, I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to write some of these things down.
But I think, like, in terms of, like, your journey with internet politics and a little bit of mine, I feel like we got over. I think we talked enough about it.
Yeah. These days, I'm, Republican.
No, you're not.
We quit our jobs, motherfucker.
Where's that Republican work ethic then?
Oh, what a great episode.
Yeah, this is honestly fucking great.
We're back. We're back in full force.
Hell yeah.
This is one of the best episodes we've ever had, I think.
By far, honestly.
We'll get back into it. Wow. What do I name this episode? That's important.
A brief history of internet politics. Straight up. Do it. Do it.
Episode 7. Can you believe it? We're already on 7.
Yeah, it took Star Wars like fucking 60 years to do that.
We didn't talk about Smash at all. Do you want to talk about Smash Brothers?
Let's just say when you got up to leave,
I'm editing it all out.
You
None
can't
of
now.
it is getting
You can't now. It's part of the show. It's part of the show.
Oh,
We-
listen, Pikachu is the best melee player of all time.
what does that even mean?
Jigglypuff, Hungry Box.
What does that even
I'm hungry for box.
Sounds like you're pussy crazy. Okay, we should quit it. We should
Wow.
stop. We should stop.
We did it. Thank
Episode
God
7.
Thank God.
Are you done recording?
Congratulations to everyone. I'm not done recording
Oh,
yet.
okay, I was just making sure.
All right. Here we go. Thank you for everyone for coming. Thank you.
Are you gonna like talk about the links and stuff? The links?
There's links. I probably put them up already. So follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to get some followers on there.
Just trying to get some.
I'll probably post something. No. I need Ellie to follow me back on Instagram. She hasn't followed me back yet.
That's wild.
Follow Ellie on Instagram. Maybe I'll put that up on here. I'll put Ellie's fucking @ on Instagram and no, I'll put her @ on Twitter so that maybe she'll delete Twitter finally.
She gets like 2 followers from our weird fucking degenerate show.
Finally, delete Twitter. Everyone delete Twitter. That's the most important part of this.
We didn't even talk about what's happening with Twitter.
Thank God, because I'm really over it.
All right.
Thanks for another podcast. I missed you.
I missed you too.
I'm so glad we're back.
Did you stop recording?
No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, I just don't want to, say like anything racist.
All right. I'm gonna stop right now. Thank you.